going to the upper Deerfield. You may have heard of the haunted Hoosac Tunnel. And that's going to be the focus of today's episode of Fishing Historic Places. I'm going to walk to the very beginning of the Deerfield River. Well, at least the modern Deerfield River, which is Fife Brook, where the dam control keeps the water cool. And there's a catch and release area up there. And Option Price and I are ready to tackle some trout and investigate one of the great infrastructure projects of Massachusetts history, the Bloody Pit. That's what they call the Hoosac Tunnel. More than 200 people, well, exactly 200 people died creating it, but more than 200 people have died in it since. So let's check it out. So, back in the 1820s, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he came up with an idea to build a tunnel through the Berkshires to create a northern route to Albany. Well, that was going to be very expensive. It was going to have to be a 4-mile tunnel through solid rock. And the project didn't occur. Well, things changed because in the 1830s, the Western Railroad went through from Boston to Albany. And this led some of the mineral and lumber interests of the northern part of Massachusetts to decide that they needed a tunnel to create a northern route for their businesses to access Albany, and thus the Hoosac Tunnel. We're fishing the Deerfield River right here. Now, we go through that tunnel 4.5 miles, Tom. We're going to end up in Adams, or is it North Adams? I don't know. But this is the haunted tunnel. Ghost hunters come here. I'm a little worried. There's like a feeling in the air. 200 men were killed in various accidents in what is called the Bloody Pit by the construction crews. And we just were looking at a monument back there to some of the men who died in the construction of this tunnel. The infrastructure that made America was built with blood and iron. Now, there's only about 6 trains that pass through this tunnel per day. But it's still used. Once upon a time, it was really, really busy. It had a lot of rail traffic. But today, not so much. Doesn't mean it won't change. Oh, we could have brought the fly poles. Tom, there's got to be something in here. Look at how it looks as the tunnel exits. And think about the work that we're looking at here. Unbelievable. Built in the 1870s. There it is. 1877. Check out that arch, too. Using the arch. Granite blocks, Roman-style arch, keystones and all. Pretty badass. As we look at the entrance to the tunnel, I wish you could feel this. The cold air. Like 55 degrees. Yeah. It's nuts. And you can see that at one time they lined the walls of the tunnel with something. Like, I don't know what they used. But
you can see they put some sort of, would that be a muffler to muffle the sound of the, yeah. It's a weird choice. Wow, if you were here right now, look at the roof of the tunnel too. Wow. And you can see, man, look at the drill mark right there. I'm telling you. This is a spooky spot. When you're in the Hoosac Tunnel and there's a light coming, you know it could be a person. You know, a couple people maybe. But it could also be a choo-choo train. And there's really not a lot of room, if it is a choo-choo train, to get off the track. And I kind of think it's a train. You'd think that we'd hear it on the track, though, like you said. But, I mean, there's a lot of things you'd think. I didn't know that I was going to have a fog bank in here like we have right now. I'm a little concerned. It's interesting, we were talking about, look at up above, Tom, you can see. It almost looks like that was bored with some kind of a giant drill. You see how it's like scraped? Coming out of the Hoosac Tunnel. Now, I guess if we had nothing better to do, we could have walked for 4.5 miles and come out over on the other side in North Adams, or Adams. We did not do that. Imagine having the job of having to go into the Hoosac Tunnel and take care of business, meaning pull up some of the old ties. Yeah, Tom, that's a train. Yeah. It's 4.5 miles away. Yeah. Is that a straight? Is that straight? Yeah, straight as an arrow. So if you ever were wondering what it looks like to see a train coming out of the Hoosac Tunnel, at some point soon, we're going to see a train eastbound exit the Hoosac Tunnel. And it's so far away we can barely hear it. Right? You can hear the...
We saw the light a good 5 minutes before we heard the noise.
We tried the Indian trick. We put our ears on the track and everything. And now you can hear like a thrumming. And for all we know, that train is still a mile away. I wonder how many, like, clowns get caught in the tunnel by a east or westbound train. Notice there's only one track going through, so there's got to be a siding. 4.5 miles, though, the train has traveled from west to east. Monuments. There's all kinds of monuments. Notice the tunnel was started shortly after the completion of the Western Railroad. How'd you do? Get any? Did you get any down there?
No. Nothing today. I got something yesterday. I was here.
Yesterday they were putting water out, right?
Yeah.
But then they stopped when you got here. By the time you got here.
I got here at 4:30 yesterday.
Okay, so the evening
they
rise.
stopped it at 3.
Right.
Went from. They usually start it at 11 and stop it at like 2 or 3.
Tubers hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When I got here, there were all kind of rafters everywhere, but I fished up top here just below the dam, and I got just one, and another guy. It was
any size?
No, it was it was long, but as I said to a friend, I think it was on the Deerfield beach diet. It was skinny.
So let's scramble down to the Deerfield here. There's a nice trout right there. There he is, coming up. Is he a brown? I think he's a brown. Now I gotta set myself up. So I just got myself into a good position, and I want to wait a minute to let the water kind of recover. Because I did make some splashes on the top of the water, so I want to wait a little bit. I mean, not crazy splashes, but enough to spook a fish if I follow that up with a presentation. Out in front of me. And there's a trout finning right there. There's another one fairly close to where my fly is now. Tom appears to be working the dry fly. Huh. There's a lot of trout popping here. You got to switch. If you could.
I just switched to smaller stuff.
Okay. I'm going to have to do the same thing.
One just went up and nudged it.
Really?
Yep. You nudged it, it went under water, and nothing.
What color you got on?
I don't know, it's something white on top.
Western Mass likes white.
White sugar with nose.
Western Mass trout have a thing for white. Officer Price has gotten rid of the waders. Now, I was thinking this might be like the Farmington, so cold that if you wait it, you're gonna end up with a mild case of hypothermia, even if it's 90. But it is not as cold as the Farmington. What?
It's not warm, but it's refreshing.
Right. It's certainly not cold like the Farmington, I'll tell you. That is a cold, stinking river. This is a deep pool.
We gave it a go here at the Deerfield River. Now we're looking for greener pastures, maybe further down, maybe a pond. We've got the kayak.